It is Tuesday, the 25th of March, 2025. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. So remember yesterday when I said that yesterday's song and video would be relevant for today's song and video? Well, today we're talking about Gentle Storm by Elbow. That's right, we're talking about Elbow again. This song is not particularly similar to Cry, but when making the song in the studio, Guy Garvey was like, oh, this song kind of reminds me of Cry, and then he decided to hire Kevin Godley to create the music video as sort of an updated version of what they did in Cry. So this song, it's a very simple love song about his wife, Rachel Sterling, the actress. She's Diana Riggs, the late Diana Riggs' daughter, and she's been in a bunch of stuff, including Doctor Who with Diana Rigg. And basically, it's a love song for her. It's very simple, very short, and the music video is a similar music video to Cry, but with modern technology. And I really enjoy the song, and I really enjoy the video. That's why we're talking about it now. And I don't need to give it any more setup, because I've talked about Elbow a million times. We talked about Cry yesterday, so let's go listen to it now, and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. And that was Gentle Storm by Elbow. Man, I love that song. Just such a simple, sweet love song, you know. I mean, I liked it anyway, but the music video solidified why I like it, and we'll get onto that. But as I did with Cry, I'm going to go through the song itself first before I get to the music video. So the song itself, this is from the same album, Little Fictions, as Kindling, Fickle Flame was. And so the percussion's a bit different here. It's not a big thumping drum kit. There's like kind of more sort of cowbell and shaker sounds and stuff going on. It's got a really interesting vibe to it, really interesting groove. I like it. And musically, it's mostly just that and the piano and not much else going on, really, I don't think. Frankly, here's a question. Let's go to Setlist FM. How many times have I seen this song live? I think they've done it. I mean, they definitely did it on the Little Fictions tour. Of course, it was a single, but I don't think they've done it too much since, have they? It's not like it's a big, like, get the crowd singing along, crowd pleaser sort of song, you know? Apparently, I've only seen Gentle Storm live once in the Olympia Theater, February 27th, 2017. Yeah, that would have been that tour. That makes sense. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, yeah, it's got a pretty simple musical setup going on, but again, it's just really nice. And the lyrics are, I will fly swift and true, straight to you like an arrow, just to be where you lie. Meet my quest, do my shambling best to be near you where you lie. I've found peace in your arms, gentle storm, rage my way. Fall in love with me, fall in love with me, fall in love with me every day. I love it. It's just so simple. I will fly swift and true, straight to you like an arrow. Just like precision, accuracy. I will go straight to you, just to be where you lie. I just want to be with you. Meet my quest, do my shambling best to be near you. Do my shambling best is such a fucking Guy Garvey lyric. Jesus Christ. Just like saying that his whole purpose in life is to be with her, and he's going to do his shambling best. Like, ooh, you know, I'm not much, but I'll get by. I don't know why that was a Beatles lyric. I'm not much, but I'll get by. It's more of a Guy Garvey voice. I've found peace in your arms is a very sweet, intimate statement. Gentle storm, rage my way. I feel like he's saying, like, you know, true love is like a storm of emotions, but it's a gentle storm because it's a sweet thing. It's a loving thing. It's an intimate thing. And so he says, gentle storm, rage my way. I want to be consumed by this, right? Fall in love with me every day. And that's one of those things of like, you know, falling in love with someone every day. There's always like something new every day that you notice and that you love, and it feels like you're falling in love with them all over again, right? Verse 2 is, counting down, now the clock's reset when I met you. Do we start a new line? Yours and my spit shone restless hearts. They were meant to beat one time, share one fate from this day. Gentle storm, rage away, and fall in love with me, fall in love with me, fall in love with me every day. So here he says, counting down, now the clock's reset when I met you. It's like everything changed. Ooh, it's like Mirrorball. We talked about Mirrorball before. Everything changed when I met you. It feels like I've entered a new era in my life. The clock's reset. And that makes sense given the whole kind of seismic shift of the previous album and this album between his previous relationship and this relationship, you know. The line, do we start a new line? Sounds like he's saying, do we start a new timeline? But also, at the time they were making this album, Rachel Sterling became pregnant. I think by the time the album released, the baby hadn't been born, but I think he was by the time they went on tour. I may be misremembering, but there's like various lyrics in the album that hint at the fact that she was pregnant. And so that do we start a new line is like, are we planning on having kids? Are we starting a new line here, right? Yours and my spit shone restless hearts. Again, a very Guy Garvey lyric, but he's saying they have restless hearts and they've spit shone them. You know, they've tried to make them better, keep them clean. They were meant to beat one time. A very sweet lyric. Reminds me of While Three Chambers of My Heart you know, from This Blue World, right? Our hearts were meant to beat one time. We're in sync here. We share one fate from this day, right? We're tied together. And then Gentle Storm, Rage Away. He's like, hell yeah, smite me, oh mighty smiter. And then just the repetition of Fall in Love with Me every day. I love it. It's very simple, but it's very sweet and very Guy Garvey. The music video, I have quotes here because there's actually a page about the music video on Kevin Godley's website, which I hadn't seen until now. I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's a lot going on, but there's a quote from Guy Garvey where he says, Gentle Storm reminded me of something, but I couldn't work it out for a bit. The yearning and the sparsity of the sound. When I worked out it was Cry, I asked the rest of the band if they remember the video because it was such a seismic event as a kid. Pete and Mark did, but Craig didn't. And I realized that a lot of people wouldn't know the track or the video, even though they were both so important to me. So Kevin Godley is a press witch boy, and so am I. So I thought, I'll be a cheeky bastard and get in touch with him and see if he's up for doing it again for our track. It was amazing that he was up for it. We got a load of our friends and family involved, so they also are in it. The shoot day was incredible. Video shoots can be quite grim, but it was such a great atmosphere that Kevin created, and the finished film is something we are amazingly proud to be involved with. And then under that, on the page, there's just a whole thing of Kevin Godley talking about it. He talks about how he was a bit confused why they wanted to do it, but then he was like, well, a lot of people haven't seen that video. It's from 85, so, you know, why not do it for a new generation? And then the fact that Rachel Sterling was going to be in it, and also Benedict Cumberbatch is in it. For some reason, he's a British guy. I guess he just likes Elbow. I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I do love, actually, I'll read the last bit here. I didn't really have to direct anyone too much. They all became suitably themselves as soon as the camera rolled. Everything felt real, nothing felt forced, and there were no fuck-ups, no tantrums, and no one who didn't get the song right all the way through. In fact, the only difference between this shoot and Cry was the major technological advance of steadying people's heads with a sink plunger instead of a saucepan. So there you go. So yeah, the video is great. Like I said, it's a similar thing to Cry, where it's fading between the faces, but it's with modern technology, so it's even smoother, and it's in like crisp HD quality. And it features every member of Elbow several times. It starts with Guy, it ends with Guy. It also features Kevin Godley himself gets a cameo in the second chorus. Benedict Cumberbatch is in it, like I said. And then just a bunch of like friends and family, including Rachel Sterling, Guy's wife, who the song is about. And this is what I love about this video, because the Cry video is really interesting for its technological aspect, and also it's cool seeing these different kinds of people sing along to the song, and the same is true of Gentle Storm. But what I really love is that during each chorus it fades to Rachel Sterling singing Fall in Love with Me, and then it fades to Guy singing Every Day. And I love that. Well, actually, that happens in the second chorus. The first chorus, I think it's actually Benedict Cumberbatch who sings Every Day. But like just that thing of fading to Rachel, who the song is about, and then fading back to Guy, who sings it, is lovely. And in the first chorus, she looks like sad and a bit reticent, like, please say that you love me. I mean, she's an actress. She's good at that. But then in the second chorus, she sings the Fall in Love with Me, and she is like beaming and she has tears in her eyes. It's so sweet. And then it fades to Guy and he does the Every Day and he smiles. And I just love that. It helps you feel the emotion of the song so well when you have the person that the song is about there beaming and tearing up. You know, it makes me tear up as well. I love that because the first time I watched the video, I watched it with my dad because of course he's an Elbow fan too. And he I think he actually showed me Cry because of this video, although I'm not sure. But when Rachel Sterling showed up, my dad said, oh, there's the wife. And I just like immediately started tearing up. I was like, that's so sweet. I love that, you know. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this song and video. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
I will fly love, true love is a storm. I'm distracting myself.